Hey, we're here for another edition of the Sit Down Uptown. The Sit Down Uptown, your host Angelo Sykes and owner of Uptown Comedy Corner. And you know we like to bring in our different comedians, man. And tonight we got a special guest. Special guest. This is one of the ones that really go back, you know what I mean? I can say I've known for quite a long time. Comedian SMALLFIRE is in the building. How you doing? Yeah, that's right.
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm good.
That's what I'm talking about.
So listen, it's great to have you here this weekend.
Thank you, man. I had a good time.
Y'all done y'all thing all weekend long.
Yes, sir.
You know, you love seeing your set, the full set. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man.
You know, so how you feel?
I feel good, really.
Yeah.
I really feel good to experience some of the same crowd that I would perform in front of 20 years ago and be able to come back. It's really an honor.
That's an interesting way of thinking about it.
Yeah, because I'm coming back with a whole new presentation.
Because
Because before I was Small Fry.
That's right.
I done changed my whole game, reintroduced myself as SMALLFIRE, and the love was just beautiful.
That's awesome.
And I get number love tonight, so
No doubt.
I enjoyed
Both
it.
nights.
Yeah, both nights, all
Absolutely.
weekend.
Absolutely.
You funny. Yeah, it's been awesome.
That's what's up. So, anytime I start these conversations off, I like to talk a little bit about what happened, but then I like to go backwards first, right? Let's go back, then we're going to come forward. So, let's go backwards in your life
All right.
to a young Sylvia.
Woo! Look at yonder with you.
Yeah, look, what was life like for you as a child? You're originally from Mississippi, correct?
Right.
Tell me about growing up. How were you as a child? School, all that good stuff.
Well, as a child, I was very talkative. I was trying to talk my way out of trouble. I had to little what they call gifted gab.
Okay.
I didn't know it was a gift. It mainly got me in trouble because my creativity was full of lies, really. I would do stuff to try to lie my way out of it. But, of course, Mama saw through all of that.
Okay.
So I got a lot of whoopings. I was one of those. Then I was real intelligent in the classroom. So I'm finished my work for everybody else. I'm bored. And I look, so there's an audience, you know. And so I started cutting up. So all that, you know, I got in trouble for distracting the class and disrupting, stuff like that. So
Right.
I didn't find out till later that, hey, I can use this to actually do something with it.
How about that?
Yeah, so.
So now that carried on through what grade? Were you all the way through high school?
Yeah,
or what?
all the way through high school, you know, even in college. I was actually in college when I started comedy.
Okay.
So, I mean, I was doing pretty good, but I still like talking to people. You know, I got time. You still here with me.
Yeah.
You know, the bell ain't rung, so hey.
The bell ain't rung.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. So,
Okay. So where'd you go to college?
actually, right at DeKalb College, right there in Decatur.
Okay.
Yep.
So at what point did you move from Mississippi to the Atlanta area?
We left when I was going into the 10th grade.
Okay.
We left Mississippi, came here. My mom, she had just graduated as a nurse. She was an RN, and Atlanta was playing twice as much as they were playing in Mississippi. So she was like, "We about to go." I was like,
Yeah.
By that time, I know at that time Spud Webb was playing for the Hawks. So that's the reason I wanted to come. I was a Spud Webb fan.
Okay.
So I was like, Mom, yeah, let's do it. Even though I never met him, it was just exciting to come to Atlanta. So.
Be in the same city.
Right.
That's what's up. So you went from the 10th grade. Where'd you go to school at here?
First year I went to Marietta. The year after that I went to Riverdale High School.
Okay.
But I actually graduated from Southwest DeKalb in Decatur.
Okay. Southwest, huh?
Yep.
That's what's up.
Then I graduated from there. I forgot about that with a basketball scholarship
Okay. Talk to us.
to Southern U State in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there a year, got homesick, came back here, started. Then that's what I did DeKalb College,
Okay.
and then I ended up doing comedy, and leaving there, go on the road.
So when you were in school, were you strictly basketball? Or did you play multiple sports?
Well, I was redshirted basketball, so I ended up doing softball.
Okay.
So they taught me on the run. They just they were able to teach me because I was fast. So I was a base runner, and I would
Gotcha.
get around them. They taught me how to do it on the fly because I had never played before.
So you didn't play softball in high school?
High
Just
school,
basketball?
nothing, just backyard. And they taught me how to do it. They taught me when to run. I said, y'all got to tell me when to go. And y'all tell me, they said, when it's 2 outs, everybody go. I said, they're okay. That's when I want.
I
That's
got
when
that
I
down.
knew.
All
That's
right.
when I knew I can go get something happen because I ain't had to worry about getting caught in between bases.
Right.
Because I was really learning everything.
Wow.
But yeah, they taught me how to be a base runner, and we made some noise.
So, and homesick got you.
Yeah, man. Cause we were broke. You know, it's 6 of us. I was the oldest. It was like 4 more teenagers at home. You know, 4 more teenagers at home my mom had to take care of. So once they dropped me off at school, they couldn't come see me.
Gotcha.
They couldn't afford to. When I came on holidays, I had to ride with somebody. They couldn't even come get me. So I was like bored up there. You know, I met some people live in that area or whatever, but I was like, this ain't it.
This ain't it.
Then it's crazy because the next year I ended up going on the road all the time because I fell in love with comedy.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So you start off comedy at what point?
I was 19.
Okay.
And I had my little summer job, by the way. And so the taxi driver, he was just like, you ever consider comedy? I guess I was making him laugh. I was like, I thought about it. And I said, I thought about it, but I don't really know how to do it, you know. And so in July, we had a family reunion. And somebody from each family was supposed to do a talent. Immediate family. And like, you know, my mom's sisters and brothers, it was like 13 of them.
Okay.
So everybody, and then nobody in our family do nothing. So I was like, look, I just introduce everybody that got talent because we don't have nobody. And so I'm introducing, you know, talk about them what they do. And everybody was just laughing. And my aunt, she lived in Atlanta, she was like, you need to get in this competition. They haven't, if it was V103 at the time, she was like, look, they got this competition. You need to get in it. I'll pay you $35. I was like, what am I going to do? I can't sing. What talent you with me? She was like, be a comedian. I was like, what is that? She was like, that's what you was doing. I said, really? I was like, I'll try it. So everybody was saying you need to try open mic to work on material and stuff. So that's what I did.
So you didn't ever watch comedians?
We couldn't. We lived in a sanctified home. So we didn't have access to HBO, none of that. We couldn't watch that stuff.
Okay.
So I didn't grow up watching none of that.
Really?
I had never heard of Eddie Murphy or none of that until I heard other comedians talk about him.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you go to this competition and then what?
Well, I went to an open mic.
Open mic.
And I wrote my little jokes down. A little taxi driver hit me.
Really?
Wrote down some family jokes. And I got in there and everybody was talking about everything, all kind of grown people stuff. And so he went up before me because we wrote together.
Okay.
He got booed. I threw my stuff in the trash. I was like, this ain't working.
Really?
Yeah. So I was up 2 people behind him. So I was like, I just got to go up the top because this ain't it. They're not trying to hit none of this stuff we wrote.
Right.
So I went out top of the dome, ended up getting a standing ovation, first time on stage.
First time on stage.
I fell in love. I said, I don't want to do nothing else. I
It
don't
hit
wanna do
you
no
right
more,
then.
I don't want to do no more math. I don't want to do no more calculus. I was like, Mama. So she said, baby, you can follow your heart.
Is that right?
I've been doing
So
it.
the sanctified home
Yeah.
was open to you venturing off in comedy.
I fell in love, and she saw it in my eyes. Either you gonna let me do it, or I'm gonna leave and do it.
Right.
And I was hooked. And she said, baby, go ahead.
That's something.
That's what I did.
That's something else.
30 years ago.
How about that?
Ta-da.
How about that? Mm-hmm. So do you remember your first joke?
I do. I thought about it the other day when I was telling somebody. I said, wow, that was my first joke.
What was the first joke?
It was about sex. I was talking about, I said, you know it's good when your orgasm sound like a man. I said, my voice got deeper than his. I was He was like, who in here?
So now, did your mom ever come see your
Oh,
comedy?
yeah. They used to come see me at Uptown. They used to come see me at the Comedy Act because mine was
Okay.
at the Comedy Act.
Okay.
That's where I started. They used to come see me, sit right up front.
Is that
And I was
right?
like, they was like, baby, don't change what you do. I said, Mom, you know how I be talking. Baby, don't change what you do. We here for you.
Really?
I said, you show Mama. Baby, do you or I'm gonna be mad. I said, all right.
I got it.
And so they wanted to see what I was out here, what I had changed my life for. So,
Wow. So you started at Comedy Act.
right.
All right.
Yep.
So how was that experience though when you first got started?
I fell in love. I mean, I didn't even have a car or nothing. I would take the bus. I would take MARTA bus and come to the shows every night. They had comedy Tuesday through Saturday. I was there every night and just sit there and watch every comedian and just studying because I was just amazed at the different styles, the different presentations, the different delivery, and I was just in awe. I wanted to learn everything I could. So I did that for like 6 months straight, just there every day. I was a student.
So were you started developing writing jokes, or was it still coming off the dome, or how were you doing your
Well,
jokes?
yeah, actually, Bruce started mentoring me, telling me, okay, when you do a joke, if you know it worked, write it down somewhere so you remember it, you can do it the next time. And
Okay.
then you put new stuff in between 2 good jokes, and that's how you present new material. I was like, oh, okay. So some jokes he told me, don't do this. That ain't, I wrote it, he was like, that ain't funny. I was like, he was like, don't do it. He told me, I was at Uptown, he was like, don't do it. I said, it's funny. He said, all right, man, we get to the show. I do a couple of good ones. I like, I got them. I threw that new one in there. It got so quiet. I heard one laugh. It was him. He was screaming. He was laughing so hard. All he could say was, I told you. He said it while I was on stage, man. It was so funny. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. Bruce told me not to do it.
Really?
And so I just like, okay, back to the norm. Then I went back to my old stuff. But it was so funny.
Wow.
'Cause I tried it again. It never did.
So it didn't work.
It just one of them that it just didn't hit. I remember it, too.
That's wild.
I remember it. He was like,
don't do it. So now you mentioned Uptown. So what was your first experience at Uptown?
open mic night. 'Cause Earthquake was hosted.
Okay.
Earthquake, he was the new host. You know, it was a new club. He was the host. You know, so everybody was coming down here. We'd do that. You know, open mic. Then we'd come down and see the the comedians they were bringing in. So he was like, man, can we get some time? He was like, yeah, come on, get some time. You know, he was showing love. You get 4 minutes, you get 5 minutes. You know, give us some love. So eventually, I ended up getting booked. My first time headlining was at Uptown. So yeah, I was like, oh, I'm about to get paid. What it is, mama, what it is. So that was exciting. And
wow.
Actually, what was new was I was able to headline before my Def Jam hit. And normally you have to be on Def Jam before you can headline.
Right.
But because I had a little following, they was like, you can get it. I was like, oh yeah, I can get it. That was exciting for me. Because I was growing so fast.
Yeah. So back then, how was it when you had two clubs and fairly close to each other, one downtown, one Buckhead? What was it like for you guys back then?
It wasn't a competition thing because Comedy Act was already shutting down.
Okay.
We already knew.
You already knew it was coming.
Yeah, they had already had a deadline.
Okay.
At that point, they had already had a deadline, so we knew it was closing. And the other one was like the new thing in town.
Sure.
They had all the radio spots. You know, it was a new thing.
Yeah.
So we was just mainly like, how we gonna get in down there? Because we didn't want it to become a game. Like, okay, we started here or we started there. We really wanted to try to get everybody in one family. So we would just go show love, even though we knew this was gonna close down. We would do our spot and go up there and show love. So when it did close, you know, we already had embraced it. We would be trying to get in, you know, from the outside. So when it worked out, they showed much love. You know, Earthquake was like, man, y'all come on.
Yeah.
Bump that jump.
Yeah. So how did the Def Jam thing come about?
Actually, they came to town, but they wouldn't have an audition. They were just like, everybody was like, that's who that is. You know, that's how you get on Def Jam. So I went and asked the lady. You know, it was Bob Sumner and Tina Graham. I was like, how you get on Def Jam? She said, well, it's a spot in Peppermint. You want the easy way? It's a spot named Peppermint in New Jersey. If you get a standing over there, you automatically get on Def Jam. I said, it's where? She said, it's in New Jersey. I said, bet. I went and got me a flight. I flew to New York. I asked Gerald Kelly, I said, man, I need a couch. I stayed in New York 2 months to learn it, you know, the club, learn the atmosphere, and I was doing all other clubs, and then eventually they booked me in Peppermint. I got to stand and got on Def Jam.
Wow.
But I had to learn that audience, because I know I'm real country, because they was telling me I talked too fast, that they wouldn't understand what I was saying.
Okay.
If I didn't get that timing right.
Okay.
So I did the little one-nighter clubs, open mic clubs, to get that right, get that timing right, and then by the time I hit that stage, I was ready. So I you
got
know,
that standing up.
I was homeless for 2 months. I just like, man, can I get the couch? He was like, yeah. I babysitted the children while they did errands and stuff. I earned my keep. Took them to play basketball, played, shoot marbles with the kids.
Whatever it took, right?
Yeah, I was their big sister. They remember to this day. Like, 3 of his sons
Isaiah and
are
all
real
them.
big. They remember me. Hey, you kept us.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So, yeah, I had to earn me a spot on the couch and on the stage.
So Def Jam was your first TV appearance?
Yep, I did that in 94. No, the first one, while I was there, they ended up putting me on Apollo Comedy Hour.
Ah, okay.
And I filmed that in 94. That was like November while I was there. In December, I actually did my audition and recorded Def Jam.
Got you.
Of December 94, it actually aired in 95.
So now, how did that feel for you at that point?
Man.
You know what I mean? You coming from Cab College, you coming from, you know what I mean? And now you on Def Jam.
I was like, what? Because what's really crazy, they put me on the tour, Def Jam Comedy Tour, before it aired, before mine even aired.
Oh, wow.
So people didn't even know me outside of Atlanta.
Yeah.
They didn't even know me yet, but they was like, we want you to be their first 5 minutes they see.
Wow.
So they wanted me to go on tour and open up before the Def Jam hit.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I was I was on a high. I mean, because I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else.
So when you sit back now, right, and you look at how you guys kind of work together, you know, I mean, you mentioned people like Bruce and Earthquake, and I mean, Gerald Kelly. I mean, all these guys have been doing this thing as long as you have, and you hear all the stories about everybody riding together and everybody doing these things.
Oh yeah.
Do you see that now in this new world, new era of comedy, where they stick together like that?
It don't feel like family.
Yeah.
It don't feel like that. Like if I had a show in Montgomery, I would tell all the people that I could, hey, y'all, come on, y'all want to go? I got a show. Can we go? I was like, yeah, come on, we're going. I fit as many people I could. They was like, can we get some time? I said, I don't know. We'll ask when we get there. And sometimes they'll be like, okay, 2 people can get some time. And so we swap out. Like if they had time last time, like, man, get them a chance.
Right.
They let them go do 5 minutes before we, the people that was getting paid, which would have been $75 here, $100 there. But it was big back then because, this is what we wanted to do. So he's like, they'll get an open spot and be so excited. And then the ride back home will be like, all right, everybody chip in on gas. Everybody chip in on gas. We got to get back. You know? And then we drop each other off. It was really a family.
Yeah.
And then like we saw something we could add to somebody's joke. Like, man, do this next time. Put this tag on that joke. I mean, that's what the ride home.
Gotcha.
It wasn't about the music. It wasn't about the rap. It was about helping these people grow, helping each other grow. Yeah. Like, man, put this on that small ride, man. That'll hit. Like, yeah. Then next time we on stage, they waiting. Because they helped create it. They waiting to see how it's gonna rock. And when it rocked, everybody rejoiced. Like, I remember when we wrote that in the car. Everybody took credit.
Right.
I remember when we wrote that in the car. And it was like a big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
To help each other.
Yeah.
We loved it. We loved each other.
And so now, what do you think it is now?
Every man for himself. Every man for himself. You don't know how to do it, I'm out. You got to find out like I found out.
Wow.
Because you got some people real good at certain things. Some people real good at promoting on social media. Some people real good on stage.
Yeah.
Because everybody that's popular on social media not good on stage.
Facts.
So it's something you can learn from everybody if they willing.
Right.
But a lot of people just not willing like that. If they are willing, they not offering.
Gotcha.
And you don't know who you can, approach. Back then, you didn't have to approach. They were like, hey,
they
come on,
approach
they were inviting you like family, like how the Uncle Man, come on over and eat, man.
Right.
It was like that, man. Come on over here, man. We finna talking right,
Right.
But now it's like you go to people like, man, do you think you can show me how to? It's not as warm.
So what's your take on the current social media stage in comedy? Like, do you get involved in the social media at all? Are you looking to do that, or?
I supposed to.
Right.
I know I supposed to because that's the new thing.
Right.
That's the new thing. If you're not hot on social media, some people won't book you. They look at your followers. If it ain't a certain limit, they don't even mess with you.
Yeah.
If you don't, that's true. They really won't even mess with it. Then sometimes I can slide through on my name, and sometimes they look at that, be like, that's what they looking at when they ask you what's your social media. When they ask you what it is, and they pause, they done looked it up. So
let me ask, how does that? And it's something I hadn't asked anybody before, but how do you look at that now, from a veteran comedian standpoint, where people look at comedy and booking, and funny doesn't even matter anymore? I mean, where it's not about being funny anymore, it's about your following.
Well, it doesn't affect me personally and my strive for where I'm headed because of the way they coached me.
Okay.
The way they coached me, they coached me for longevity.
Okay.
Now, if I wasn't coached for longevity, I probably would have fallen off because the whole game has changed.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have the confidence to go and try to do it with just a name and with just what you call success or what you call longevity. I mean, the experience is what I'm looking for. Because what they told me this is Bruce told me. Bruce, he said, comedy is one of those games. Long as you stay in it, if you stick with it, you're going to always get a turn. And what he was talking about, you'll get a turn to be on sitcoms. You'll get a turn to be in movies. Only thing you got to do is stick with it. If you stick with it, your turn will happen. And I believed it. I've never doubted it. It's been 30 years, and I still believe that big break is gonna happen.
Okay.
Like one time on stage, somewhere, somebody gonna see it. Like I'm putting you in this film, and the film gonna hit, cause that's all it takes.
Gotcha.
Or I'm putting you in this show, or I'm putting you in this play, or I'm putting you in this music video. Cause some, like some people blew up from music video.
100%.
A comedian. So I still believe that. And this was told to me in 1992. And I still believe it in 2023, 31 years later.
Wow. That's
So
deep.
what they're doing, their method is different, but I still believe my method is gonna work.
Gotcha. That's deep.
I believe
That's
in
good
it.
stuff. That's good stuff. So let's talk about your transition.
All right.
Right? You went from Small Fry, this comedian that, was doing her thing raw and uncut, right?
For sure. For sure. Doing it well.
Doing it very well.
It got me on Def Jam,
Yeah,
right?
no
Right.
doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. I'm sure that put you in
Yeah.
city to city, state to state from that point.
For sure.
Right? And then you decided, I'm changing my comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to straight, clean, Christian style comedy. How did that come about?
Man, you ain't gonna believe this.
Talk to me.
I was on Def Jam tour when it happened.
Is that right?
I was actually out of town. We was in between cities. I think it was between Boston and Maine. We were way up there on the tour bus because we was going up 95. That's
Okay.
how the tour was work.
Okay.
We would fly into one city, then we all ride a tour bus on up. So we were doing like Jersey, then we do Boston, Massachusetts. We were doing Delaware. We were doing that, that leg right there of the tour. I'm in the hotel room, can't sleep. And they mama had always told me, if you can't sleep, man, God trying to talk to you. Now, we got to get up in the morning. This is when all the comedians had to get up and go do radio the next day. Before you got to do radio the day of the show.
Right.
Right? They didn't play about that. You got to get up there and do their promo. Them people want to hear your voice on that radio.
Facts.
So I'm like, okay, God, I got to get up in 3 hours. What's up? You ain't letting me sleep. What you got to say? He started talking to me about comedy. He told me, that's not why I gave you that gift. I said, what you mean? I was mad. I was sad. I'm making money. I ain't never seen before. I'm talking about 4 digits. I'm 19. Well, I was 21 at this time.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't even 21 on the tour. I was 20. Yeah, because they was like, man, they were trying to talk people and let me in the club because, they would go to after parties and stuff.
Right.
Like, man, y'all let her in. She with us. She a comedian. They were looking at me, man, y'all done got somebody's daughter out here. Because you see how young I look now. Can you imagine how young I look
for
30
sure.
years ago? They was like trying to talk. Because sometimes I'm like, man, I'm going to have to sit on the bus.
Right.
And they talk to him like, man, let her in. She an artist. So it was that kind of going on. And I couldn't sleep. He was like, I didn't give you the gift for that. And I said, I don't understand. I said, we all doing it. He said, yeah. He said, and this is what he told me. And I changed my whole life. He said, when people are laughing, it's like music. They don't have a filter. People can't guard what go into their heart when they laughing. It's wide open. He said, it's a gift I gave to insert certain things. He said, they wide open. He said, you are responsible for what you put inside them while they laughing.
Wow.
We came home to regroup to go to the next leg. I think the next leg was like Chicago, St. Louis, that whole thing. I couldn't go. They's like, we trying to get your stuff together for your flight. I said, I can't go. They said, wait. We want, we want you on the tour. Because my face went on flyer and then nobody know me. My Def Jam hadn't even aired yet. I said, nah, I can't go. They said, you booked somewhere else? I said, pretty much.
Wow.
SLBG, the same people who sponsored Def Jam, sent me a contract this thick for management. They was offering me a 5-movie deal.
Really?
I said, I can't do it.
Wow.
Man, they said, you sure? They said, because we're going to get it somebody else. They ended up giving the same deal to Bill Bellamy. I don't know if you remember when he did all the movies back to back.
Sure.
Two can play that game. It was like cup five right there. Pop, pop.
Yeah.
They gave it to him. They had writers on staff and all that write the movies for him.
Wow.
And I watched it go, and I said, Lord. He said, nah. You trust me? I said, yeah. He said, wait your turn. I got you. I said, all right. I went sad. I went mad. I went jealous. I went to the movies and watched him. Watched him do his thing. I said, man, that's it. And I still know my time coming.
Wow.
I still know. He said, I'm not going to let you give up something and not do more. So I know I got so cold. I'm like, why? I'm about to be bankrolled. I don't know when that day coming, but it's coming.
But it's coming.
I have no doubt. I mean, I can't find the doubt because I really believe what he told me.
So how did that? Because you said you couldn't go because of the style of comedy you were doing. Like what
I was presenting.
What you were presenting. So you feel like that platform wasn't right for you, or what? What was it made you say I just can't go as opposed to?
Well, see, when people talk, you gonna talk what's in here.
Okay.
And so what was in me was contaminated because of the lifestyle I had.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I was able to go on stage my first time and talk about orgasm because I was sleeping around.
Right.
You know, so if that's all that's in me, that's what
Gotcha.
I'm gonna talk about no matter how many jokes I write. That's what's gonna come out. So I had to just pull away and get me restored and get me built up and
Gotcha.
get my spirit right. So what comes out is pure.
Okay.
And that's the part that took the most time.
Got you.
So I already had the method of how to deliver a joke, but I had to get me right. So what comes out of me is what he wanted people to receive. That's why you get what you get this weekend. People receive it because it's not, I don't have to work to do it. I don't have to work to talk about church or work to talk about God or work to talk about experience because it just flows out. I can freestyle from it, talk about people in the audience while I'm talking about Jesus. And they receive it like, oh, man, we did do that in church. Oh, man, I remember that.
Right.
We did have that character in church. And they receive it wholeheartedly because it's pure. And it's something I do going to remind them of somebody they know or something they seen in church or something they saw in a movie. And so they all relate to it because it's what we grew up with.
Gotcha.
Even though a lot of people don't go to church, they remember.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I have a lot of people come to me afterwards like, man, I ain't been to church in a minute, but you make me want to kind of go back. Like they miss that atmosphere,
Yeah.
you know, how you feel when it happens, when you go, when you really experience the presence. So
Wow.
that's my job now.
Wow.
He sent me in.
Wow. So now, how did you, once you kind of got that part together, how did you decide to, and how did you go about rebranding yourself and introducing yourself to the world as Smallfire?
Oh, I had to start from the bottom.
Okay.
I'm talking about below the bottom because stages were not accessible to me. Because people that book Smallfire they don't want this new girl. We don't want that. We don't want you clean. So, and then the church didn't want me because they had my VHS at the house of Def Jam. Y'all remember? They would record it. People that didn't want to stay at the midnight, they would set their recorder
That's
and
right.
record Def Jam.
Sure.
And watch it the next day. So it's pastors I was trying to get in front of their pulpit to do jokes. Like, can I do something at the musical? We just saw you.
Wow.
Ain't no way in the world they would say it like that. You ain't getting in front of my people.
Wow.
So I went to like elementary school, middle schools, and presented myself as a motivational speaker.
Okay.
And I would go in there, I would talk to these kids about staying in school, da boom, 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 stuff like that, being positive, using your gift. I would do stuff like that and do comedy in between, and it was recording it, and that's how I got footage of me doing clean material. It took a year or so of that. Then I took that video to the church and said, look, I do clean now. Then they let me in.
Is that right? Wow.
They didn't just let me in. I had to prove
You had to prove.
what was coming out of my mouth was presentable because of what I was known for.
So did you have a battle at that point when you're going through that process, a faith battle at all? Of is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Or?
No, never lost the faith.
Okay.
I had some. The battle for me was the. And I hate to say it, but it's just the truth. Some of the Christian comedians at the time knew me on the other side, so they thought me coming over was about the money. That I was just trying to rebrand myself to get the money they were making.
Okay.
I didn't know this kind of money was in that. I really didn't. So they were kind of telling everybody she just here for the money. They kind of did a little blackballing thing. And I'm like, what? I'm just trying to be obedient. But they telling folk, man, don't reason she over here. And so I still stuck with it. That was the only fight I had. No, never lost the faith at all. Once I heard his voice, I heard it.
Okay.
I've been hanging on it, But it hurt to feel that from other people
Gotcha.
that I thought would embrace. Now, some of them did. Some of them was just like, look, when I'm doing something you want to open up, you can open up, I can't guarantee you no money, but you can open up, work it out, work out your material. I said, cool. So we had a couple of people, but the big name ones, they weren't trying to hear because, see, they saw how strong I was. And so to me, they looked at it as a threat, whether it's, I don't know, they didn't look at it like somebody joining their team. You know, like, you get a starter from another team coming from your team.
Yeah.
Some people look at it like, man, now I got to compete with this. Instead of saying, man, we can win.
Right.
It just depends on what their perspective was. But it hurt. That's the part that hurt.
Really?
That hurt more than the preacher telling me that I can't do it, because I understood that. But for somebody who should be like, man, you giving your gift to God, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't. A lot of them didn't do that.
How did your fellow comedians that you were touring with and know in the industry, how did they receive you?
Oh, they still think I'm crazy. I ain't lying. They think I made the worst decision ever. Like,
Really?
shit, like basically you was at the top. You were where everybody wanted to be, and you left.
Yeah.
For what? Because right now it look like I ain't got nothing to show. Ooh, but you just wait. Wow. Well, I'm telling you finna flip this script. I'm telling you.
That's beautiful.
He finna flip it. When he flip, I'm gonna be flipping too.
You gonna be flipping too?
I'm gonna be flipping cartwheels, round offs. I'm gonna be flipping too. Be flipping checkbooks. What you say?
Right.
So it's coming.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's like when I'm talking to you, it's like it's being, revived again, because I kept saying on stage, I don't know why I look like this. Because I don't look like nobody been doing nothing for 30 years.
Right.
But then I'm thinking about what I'm saying. I'm like, if he said he gonna do it for me, then he got to restore me so I can do it. He got to have my body ready where I can do the tours, where I can do the movies. So, hey, let's do it. And I'm like talking to myself now, like, what's up? We ready. We ready for sure.
That's awesome.
Yo.
That's awesome.
Because I've been saying I'm 21 for so long.
Yeah.
I got a 21-year-old child.
Right.
He just turned 21 last year, right? So my other children like, Mom, what you gonna do? Bailey just turned 21. I said, bump that, we twins.
We twins.
My story don't change. Just because y'all want to get older.
That's hilarious.
I'm not changing.
Yeah.
I'm still 21.
I'm still 21.
Let's go.
Let's go.
He told me I can have what I say. Here it is.
So talk to me a little bit about your basketball.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Man, I went to a game. I go watch a game. I go watch a game. I don't have to know anybody there. And that's what I did. Trying to think who it was. It was Tuskegee.
Okay.
Was playing against Albany State. I was like, ooh, let's go, HBCU. So we went to the game, whatever. So after I'm talking to the coach, they lost bad. Albany State, they lost bad. Now, we had on the colors of Albany State.
Right.
Right. We just happened to have them on.
Okay.
And went to the game. So we talking to the coach afterwards. I was like, man. I said, Coach, I was going to ask you for some of that pizza, but you ate it all. Cause we was sitting behind him at the game. And he was like, man, them girls wore me out. I said, but you did your thing. He was like, yeah, but they won't listen. I was like, Coach, I'll help. He's like, what you talking about? He said, I need somebody who can score. I said, Coach, that's what I do. He was like, I'm for real. I said, me too. He said, all right, come on down. I got you. If you can score, I'll make sure you get scholarship. Just like that, in the parking lot.
Wow.
While he walking to the bus. And I'm like, Coach, now I'm almost 50 now. He said, I don't care. If you can put that ball in the hole, we can fix the rest. I said, all right, I'm going to show you now. So he told me to come down 3 months later, so I went to training. Got me a training with the trainer. Because I ain't know what I was going to ask him. He threw in that rock. At the elbow. I hit about 13 straight. I'm going back and forth.
Right.
He said, what you do with the 3-point line? I said, give me some time to work on that. Because we ain't had 3-point line when I played.
Right.
We just didn't have it.
Right.
That's how old I am. We did not have a 3-point line when I played ball.
Yeah, how about that?
In high school. We
Yeah.
just didn't have it. I said, give me some time to work on that. It's something I never had to learn. I went and built my legs up. While I'm building my legs up, I did some drill and tore my MCL. There's some kind of something down there. So I said, they was telling me what to take to build back up. I said, I'm going to build it up to walk and do comedy. I ain't finna build it back up to get on that court. I said, the fact that I had the opportunity is a blessing.
That's wild.
That was enough for me. So I let that ride. I said, I'm going to let these young folk have it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't willing to do all of that
Yeah.
for that. But I wanted to get where I can do what I need to do on
Did you
stage.
surprise yourself that you
I
were
did.
still had it like that?
Man, I was working with college athletes. I'm talking about men, football players, working out with them and keeping up the drill I was keeping up. They was like, let's go, Mom. Let's go, Mom. All of them calling me Mom. Because I was in class with my son.
Right.
I was in the same training with my 21-year-old son. The same foot drills and all that. I'm keeping it up. Like, same time. Like, I knew God had anointed me for that season because that wasn't me. Ain't no way going through that stuff like that.
Yeah.
I knew it. And they was like, Mom. All of them was calling me Mom. And some of them was fine, so I really was hoping they didn't do that. You know, like, I was hoping to find what didn't make friends with my son because I can't date my mom. That's my friend. I was like, I need y'all to not like each other. Can y'all, I really was trying to figure out how I can break them up. Don't like him. Don't like him.
Right.
Can't date him if you invite him over.
Hilarious.
I'm joking with friend, because they get to working out and taking shirts off. I said, Lord, I appreciate what you're doing for me right now. I was distracted. Boy, you hear me? So when I got hurt, 2 of them picked me up. Baby. They said, you all right? I said, I am now.
I am now.
This is right here was worth it. I don't care what my leg doing. This is worth it. They like, where you want me to take it? Take me all the way to the car.
All the way to the car.
Baby.
Hilarious.
I was in heaven. But I said, I'm going to let it go. My trainer, he wanted me to go because he knew I could build it back.
Yeah.
But I told him, I talked to my pastor about it. He said, you already proved your point, baby. He said, God got the glory out of the fact that you even had the offer. And you proved you earned it and deserved it. So
that's why
you good.
That's
He said, go to what you love. I said, all right. So I started getting back right so I can get back on this stage without limping. Yeah.
So in your comedy world right now, you said that, your faith is letting you know your time is coming. So what is it that you want? What is the Small Fire's goals in this comedy game now?
Well, I don't have a pinpoint like this is what I want my career to do.
Okay.
I don't have that, and I'm not going to say I shouldn't.
Okay.
But my faith so strong, I just go from day to day. You tell me what you want me to do. You tell me where you want me to go. You tell me, to the point, what you want me to eat, what gas station to go to, because it might not even happen from the stage. It might happen from the gas station. It might, the big break might not have anything to do with my comedy. It might just have be right place at the right time.
Sure.
Or me being obedient and somebody else being obedient. And God said, all right, I want y'all two to meet. And now it's time. Because all it is a matter of time.
Yeah.
Well, he said, and our whole world changed.
Yeah.
So my thing, I'm trying to figure out how to put it. Well, I just put it. It just day to day. Just day to day. Day to day. Now, what I believe he gonna do is change the whole standard of comedy. Because of how I do what I do, it basically tells you don't have to cuss to get this type of response. Right. To get, like you called it, I would have never called it what you called a standing no. I saw you get a standing no as a feature. And I didn't have to cuss not one time. Not one time. But that's not everybody calling. But I'm just saying it can be done. Sure. You can make your presentation without it. So it can raise the standard of, if you want to do it, if you want to cuss, that's your personality, do it. But if that's not, and you just want to do it to fit in, you don't have to. Gotcha. And that's what I want. What I'm doing, that's what I want to present. Gotcha.
So, just a quick question. You remember some of the comedians that you were on tour with? Name some of the comedians you was on tour with.
On that particular tour, it was Talent, Ricky Harris, Guy Torre, and Joe Torre. And trying to think his first name. Reggie McFadden.
Reggie McFadden.
I don't know if you remember that name.
Sure.
That's who I was on tour with at the time.
Wow.
Yep. And Guy Torre ended up being the host when I did Def Jam.
Okay.
Not Guy. The other
Joe.
one. Joe
Torre.
He was the host.
Right. Yeah.
When I did it. That's who I was on tour. I was their little sister.
Yeah, I bet.
When they got ready to do this, they said, baby, go on in the bathroom. It was a bathroom on the tour, but they told me, go on in the bathroom now. They ain't want me to get high and get in trouble. Right. So they sent me in the bathroom while they smoke. Yeah. And they air it out, let the window down, and say, all right, come on out, baby. Yeah. All right. I was young, 20, Right. Looked like I was 12. So.
Yeah, right.
They protected me. I got to get them there. Yeah. And nobody tried to hit it either.
Is that right?
But they were scared of Bruce, too. So, I was dating Bruce at the time. They weren't trying to have them problems. Right. They ain't, nobody bothered me on tour. They was like, hey, you know who girl that is? Right. So I had an Angel that wasn't even, Right. Ain't nobody bothered me.
How about that?
One of them I wanted to hit, but wait, anyway, that's another story.
That's another story.
I was faithful at that time.
At that time.
At that time. On that tour.
So how you feel though when you see all those comedians that you used to work with? I mean, a lot of them are still in this game. Some of them are doing it on super duper levels.
They doing real good.
Yeah, I mean, your Bruces, your Earthquakes.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
how cool is that for you to sit back and
awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome, because they all in the 5 digits a show.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. They not leaving the house without getting at least 10.
yeah,
That's beautiful because I know, not know my worth, but I know that I can go out there and get the same thing doing what they doing.
sure.
I mean, it's not a doubt. If I go up there tomorrow and talk like I used to talk, I'm going to have, I already know I'm going to do it.
Right.
But it ain't the route I want to take.
Yeah,
That's what makes me feel good to know that the game, that that's accessible.
gotcha.
Put it like that. So I'm just going to prove I can get it my way.
That's awesome. I love the faith. That's a beautiful thing. No doubt. No doubt. So, Small Fire. Mm-hmm. We always end our show with a top 5, right?
All
we
right.
do a classic conversations on Tuesday, we call it, and I do a top 5 on there. So I'm gonna give you a top 5. It's gonna probably be real easy for you, but we're gonna throw it down.
All right.
Give me your top 5 gospel artists of all time.
Top 5 gospel. Ooh, yeah, let go. I'm going to go with Kurt 5.
Okay.
Because he was the first one that got my attention because, you know, he had the young music,
Right.
all that. So,
Right.
and then he was like doing what I'm doing, something nobody really
Yeah.
heard of when
Yeah.
he was doing Stomp and all that. You know, he was getting a lot of flack for that.
100%.
So I like Kurt Franklin. I like Jonathan McReynolds because him and the guitar could just do a whole show with just him and that guitar.
Right.
And I think that's awesome, the anointing he had. Number 3, I like Tasha Cobbs
Okay.
because she ministers.
Yeah.
I mean, you that's the kind of person that's scared to drive. You scared to drive while you listen to her because she can take you somewhere. My old school, I got to go with Shirley Caesar
Okay.
because she's a storyteller. That's my
Absolutely.
gift. She's a storyteller.
Okay.
She ain't going to just sing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Right. That's right.
Let me tell you about this young lady, right? She going to tell you a story before she sang. And see, my number 1 gospel artist. I'm going to have to go with Rita on that.
Really? Okay.
I'm going to have to go with Rita because Rita was singing out there first.
Yeah.
Well, you know, she grew up singing in church, but
Sure.
as far as her career,
Sure.
she was singing out there and decided, you know what?
Turn it back around.
Let me get Jesus Heals.
Yeah.
And she did one gospel album, and it sold more than all the other ones.
Ain't that something?
So, hey,
It's out there.
she made it known.
How
It can
about
be
that?
done.
How about
It
that?
can be done.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It can be
Well, Miss
successful.
Small Fire, I appreciate your time.
You too, man.
It's a pleasure to see you again. A pleasure to see you rock the Uptown Comedy Corner stage.
Thank
you. You know what I mean? And we just continue to wish you the best. And when you do it, you know, remember us.
You know I am. You know I'm coming home now. I'm coming home.
That's what's up.
I appreciate the love, too.
It was a sit down Uptown with my girl Small Fire.
Who you keep pointing to?
That's my camera right
I'm
there.
messing with you, man. Bye, y'all.